Hi everyone. Let's get started with Bitcoin on weekly. Then we'll look into daily and go through all the active coins in alphabetical order, starting with Bitcoin. Let's look at weekly without any drawing. Now, this particular, especially the last 12 hours, has improved the situation. Now this weekly candle reminds me a weekly candle of September the 6th. And if you look at the shape, it's similar, which is, I'm not saying that the pattern repeats, but if it is possible that this bounce is a bounce, right now it's more like defense than a bounce which wants to go up. The kind of bounce we are seeing, or it's more like a defense where it says that, okay, I don't want to go down further, and it's trying its best to retain its level. So that kind of a reaction that you see here, so in a way it's positive. Definitely it's positive. As far as the level is concerned, this level is not a concern. I mean, level for any concern. There is no threat to the trend. So there was a question from Alex which I posted under Bitcoin BTC daily, that what is the, when do you think that the uptrend ends? Now technically speaking, the if it breaks below this level, which is around 29k range, then the uptrend ends, because then this is a significant support, and if it goes below, then the uptrend ends. So that's the answer. But the thing is, who cares about this level? In my opinion, if it is sitting here, who cares? And when I say who cares, means who would like to wait until this, because this is too deep in my opinion, right? So I don't, though this level is the critical level, I don't think anyone will look forward for this kind of a level for any kind of decision. As far as risk management is concerned, the risk management will kick in much earlier. So at this moment over here, I don't see any major risk. Absolutely not. However, next 1 week or so is going to tell us a lot, because if we might see something like this, where it may dip a bit and touch this level, which is S3. It is possible that S3 is it might go up to S3. If you look at first, it um, hit S1, spent some time little bit around that S1, and now recently it has hit S2, right? And it bouncing. So that's positive part. Even if it comes down to S3, that's not a concern in my opinion. Yeah, you will lose value because else will go down even further. So there is definitely loss in value, but that's not a problem. To me, S3 is the most critical level. Though the trend point of view, 29k is the critical level, but as I said, who, if it has to go down, who cares about this level? To me, S3 is the most important level. Around S3 means around S3 we have to fine tune when it goes down, if it goes down. At this moment there is no threat, but we need to have a plan. We need to have a plan, because simple reason being, this was fine. Why? Because all-time high is not easy to break above. It's not easy. In one go, it cannot. Usually not. It always retraces. So this is totally fine and like obvious and expected behavior. And then it goes up, like consolidates, goes up like this, and make new all-time high. I mean, it's not a all-time high on a weekly, because it closed below this level. So technically, it's not all-time high. That's also another fact. So if you look at weekly, um, it didn't break above. But anyway, we don't want to go too much in micro level. What I mean is, let's say if you even if you consider high, not the closing value, the high made new all-time high, but it didn't keep up. So one time it happens, second time this is odd, right? And even if it closes here, that's all right. What I don't like, what I didn't like is this one. And this up to this level is quite deep, not from a threat level, but when it is about to break above second time, and in fact it broke above and come back to this level, is not something good. So I hope I'm able to explain it well. So if this has to happen, let me explain differently a little bit, just to avoid any doubt. If this behavior is totally fine, if it had to happen here, because you can say first attempt and retraces, retest this, and then goes off fine. What I didn't like is it retraced, consolidated, made new high, and then it is doing like this. Not only this, not this, not up to this, it broke this week low, this week's low, and this week's low. So basically it broke last 4 weeks of low. Of course the week hasn't ended. If it bounces and recover, we cannot say it has broken all four, but you can see that it has definitely penetrated all 4 weeks low. That's something I didn't like after making second attempt on new all-time high. So that's something it's something which we didn't want to see and we had to. Okay, but today is Saturday, one day. Usually Saturday, Sunday are sluggish, but it seems that Saturday it's active compared to some last few weeks we saw. Saturday, Sunday it doesn't do anything. In fact, it goes down. But right now I see it's pretty active, so which is very positive, right? So whether you are a trader or investor, it doesn't matter at this moment, because to me, this level is something which will affect even long-term investor. Uh, right. So I this orange line, you can have this orange line on your local chart. Very simple. You connect this uh, candle with these two candles and have this line locally, and then see what happens. To me, of course, I gave this S3 535, so around 553k as a ballpark number you consider approximate, right? Around 53. So that's the very important level. You have to have alert on your system. Even if I'm away, alert, sorry, I mean offline, then this will be your guide, because this is weekly call. This is not daily call, this is weekly call. So I'm talking at a weekly level. We don't know what might happen in next few days. You need to have alert on your S3, and then you decide what to do. But as I say always, recent low is your first checkpoint, S3 is your second checkpoint, and then so on. I would say below S3, don't keep staring at um, your coin with assumption that everything will be all right, because if it breaks below S3 it could go ugly. So I have to highlight this, that because sometimes uh, it is very difficult to change the mindset, that because everybody, including myself, I would like it to go up, right? Because why not? There is shorting is not easy. Shorting is has some expense, uncertainty. Not everybody has access to short, including myself. So it's hard in that case, even if you have an option. So I would like to, because if, to be honest, as a trader, I don't mind whether it goes up by 20% or 50% or goes down by 20% or 50%, as long as we are not wrong in the direction. As far as, but if you don't have ability to short, then you don't have options. So that's not good. That's why I prefer it to go up. Anyway, so otherwise, I mean, in the bear market also money can be made, because it's just different direction. Provided the trend is maintained. What is worst is the up and down in a very close range. That's bad. Anyway, so right now, in summary, there is no threat. We are going to see something more as well. Let's look into daily one day. and you see how it's trying to bounce. This bounce is not strong enough at this moment. I hope it gets energy, but it is possible that it reaches, because this level is not high enough. This is not high enough, and this kind of bounce is very normal. This is a dead cat bounce range. Dead cat bounce means the bounce, it's always react, but if the height is not good enough, it has to break above I would say 61k. Even 59k plus is something will tell me that okay, I don't have to look into this. Ideally it has to go above S1, because that was a major support. So this is the ideal level, which is 63. You can say 63 is required, but even if it breaks above this candle's high, which is 61k, I'll be very happy. This bounce is not good enough, but it's positive, so I take that way. Now it is possible that it might touch, as I said, this one, but it must not go below, because then it goes it will be under tremendous pressure, right? Especially, and this pattern that I say that right now it's a 50-50. It's 50-50. So this is very important pattern that I was tracking, shared with you. You see, this is a channel. Draw this very simple pattern. You see this as a channel. It tried to remain within the channel. This particular candle broke the channel, and now what you see here is an attempt to re-enter. This is again a very natural behavior. Once it is able to enter and stay, not just enter, not just penetrate, but stay, then that's positive. So as that's why I'm saying, even if it gives me 59k plus, then because if 59k plus will make sure that it stays within the channel, and then slowly if it can move up and then recover. But if it is not able to break above this channel, I mean re-enter the channel, then that's a problem. So what you see here is some is again very usual behavior where it tries to re-enter. Now we have to see if it can re-enter or not, right? So you can also draw this on your local and see if you are very curious, so you can track. Very simple. Now you see what is happening here, that nothing falls. Like there are very few occasions where there is a free fall of 20% in Bitcoin. It never happens, especially now we have more participation. So usually it happens sometimes in a very extraordinary case, when it happened last year during the COVID, um, or this year, 120% drop. Like, but it's on a daily basis. It's not only this capitulation that you see was 20%, 15-20%, right, on Bitcoin. Otherwise you don't see. It's, if it has to go down, it is going to go down slowly. That's a behavior, and that is simply because as the any asset, that's true, as you see more buyer and seller, then the volatility goes down as far as the daily volatility is concerned. That's the usual. Okay, so my concern is if this level is broken below. Now we are looking from a different point of view, from a head and shoulder point of view. Then you see 20, this head is 25% complete. Here it's 50% complete. So if it completes 50% or more, you see this candle low. If this candle's low is broken, then you can assume whatever is this level, 51k around. If this low is broken below, then you can assume that the likelihood of going down, because then it's like it would complete the head part, which ends somewhere here, 41k, right? And then I'm expecting a bounce, and that bounce could turn into reversal. That's why the dotted line indicating that if it comes down to this, then it will bounce, and then this is kind of a decision point, right? This is a decision point where it would either go up or go down like this, and then like what we saw, it is trying to re-enter the channel. Similarly, when it goes down, it tries to re-enter the neckline. This is red line is a neckline. in the head and shoulder. So if it goes down and then it will try to re-enter again, there is a point of reversal. It can be it can be successful and go up like this, or continue going down, and then it comes to the last level, where this is the ultimate level. If it breaks down, you see up to this it's yellow, right? It's yellow, and then I change it. So each point is very carefully drawn. This line, color of line is important, levels are important, not exact dollar number, but the shape are important, is important. Probability is important. You see it's 50-50. Earlier it was weighing more on the high side. Because of the drop, I changed to 50. But if it breaks below this level 51k, then the 50 uh, goes up, because then we are looking for downside. So that's how it works. Similarly, if it goes above and breaks above 61k, I'm going to change the probability to 70-30 again, right? Because it makes sense. And then if it breaks above, then the probability change accordingly. So this is what I used to say. Nothing happened from black to white to black, risk to opportunity. There is always a transition, and that transition has to be monitored. And we are monitoring the same way. This is very easy way to for you to do. Like it's usually happens. Nothing changes all of a sudden unless you ignore it. Yeah. So when you sleep, like in the night, right, and when you wake up, for you it's a moment. Why? Because you're not observing your sleep. You're unconscious in a way. So that's why time doesn't exist. That's why you think I just slept and woke up as if nothing happened. But there were like few hours of gap which you lose from your life. Why? Because you're not awake. So if you don't observe, time doesn't exist. Time exists when you observe. So this is very, like I'm digressing, but a very similar situation here. Time, in reality, the time, there's nothing called time. Okay, it's just a man-made concept. It is, time exists only when you observe. Things doesn't change, then time doesn't exist at a molecular level, atomic level. If the atom doesn't change, there is no time. Anyway, so the point is, what I'm saying is, if you don't observe the change in the price level and the structure, then for you it is as if happening all of a sudden. It is not happening all of a sudden. First, the probability of going up was higher, then the probability got decreased to 50%. And if this level is going to break, maybe I can denote this with this line, just for your reference. This candle that you see, why? Oh, it's a magnet thing. Yeah, I'll make it a little round figure. Okay, so if it breaks below 50900, then this probability will go up to 70%, right? Because then we are looking for downside. Similarly, if it goes above, then this becomes 70, and then ultimately 90, and we don't need, because then we are looking for upside move, right? So right now it's 50-50, for simple reason being where it stands. Okay, and so on. And who cares about this level, as I mentioned, because this is too deep. If this is happening, we have to take care when it starts breaking below this one. So you consider the recent low, then S2, then 50900. If you consider all these levels for your risk management, I'm telling you, even if you have to see the worst case, you are ready. But please do not ignore this level. And if you have to change your mindset, do. But right now you don't have to do anything, because it's not crashing. But as far as plan is concerned, please do consider these levels, right? Because I don't know. Yeah, preparation is needed. So preparation doesn't mean we have to think like a bear. We are not. So this is, I often say, we I don't believe in bear and bull. I believe in making money. Okay, if bear is winning, if they are weighing more, I'm with bear. If the bull is weighing more, I'm with bull. Who cares? I mean, we are here for making money. We are not here to take side that if the 90% of the Twitter city is on a bull, it doesn't mean we have to bull, and vice versa. If the bear market, because they are always late, and we don't have to. Our goal is to protect our capital. Our goal is to make money. We don't want to tag ourselves that I'm bull. No, because what happens when you are saying I'm bull, you cannot change your mindset. It happens with your perception, right? With a person, if you think that person is liar, or person is bad, or this person is not good. Similarly, if you think this person is amazing, awesome, so you think everything that he does is good. If you think he is good, I would say, okay, I mean, anything can go, anything could change. Anyone could change. Anything can happen. So it's just a possibility you have to keep in mind. So right now we are not thinking about crash, but these levels are important. And if levels are broken, change your mindset. That's the only thing I'm passing on. Okay, change your mindset, because if you don't change your mindset, you won't be able to execute. Right. Okay. I think I said enough on risk management. Opportunity wise, we'll talk about opportunity once we have 70% and plus probability. And there is plenty of thing. I have target ready, by the way. So I know exactly where is the next level, but and I'm not talking about level below as well. As you see, I'm not talking about 19K, or I don't want to. And similarly, I'm not talking about 100K or 250K, because to me even 250K is small number. It can go up to half a million as well. There is one more chart I wanted to show actually. Let me show you. So maybe I think I had to break this video into two, because this is going longer, which is fine, which is important phase of the Bitcoin again. Hold on. I'll pull up my macro. Mega macro. Give me a moment. Okay, right. Some of you have seen, some anyone who joined recently might not have seen, because we don't talk about this chart often unless there are key moments. So today I think I would like to go through it. Now this is like totally zoomed out version. This chart starts from the year 2010, so 20 last 11 years of data roughly. This is the longest history that I could gather from this version. This chart is not real time. It has a snapshot end of day. So the price that you see is from last night's, so end of day. I mean, recent end of day. Okay, not the current. Doesn't matter because it hasn't changed much. Okay, the way I see this chart is the four phases: one, two, three, and the fourth one, which is going on. Steepest steepest fall, then a angle change, and the correction angle change. Note that what is happening here, it went up like a vertical 80 degrees, and then steep V shape kind of a drop, and then angle changed, right? And you see the drop also longer, the uptrend longer, then the previous one downtrend longer, then third phase uptrend even longer than the second one, and then also look at the angle of the uptrend. Okay, that also again this angle change a bit. This is little flattened. You see this orange channel, this is steep. Then look at the angle, look at the angle, what is happening here. So this is, oh, I sometimes this magnets. Anyway, so now we are in the fourth one, which started here. There are there are two parts into this wave, is because of this COVID. So ignore this, the per candle wave, because this is like kind of a natural calamity, kind of a this is not a natural course. This is like a forced one, but it recovered quickly. So the way I visualize is, this particular phase started from here, February 2019, and then went, so it went up, correction, and then continuation. So you can put whole entire thing into one, like this, like this, and then this is the another one. So it has the first sub like you may say this phase, sub phase, and then this second, and then now consolidation. So this is the whole entire thing is consolidation on this scale. Now you can treat this as, so this four phase can be put into one wave. The whole entire thing can be put into one wave. Say this is a huge curve, right? Look at that, and that's flattening itself. The volume is declining. Okay, so it is possible right now. So volume declining simply means there is a major move going to come. So that's why I'm more curious and cautious. I'm, you may say why sometime I'm not talking about bull a lot, and even I'm not talking about bear a lot. I'm trying to be a little neutral here, if you have noticed. Why? Because this phase is something at this monthly level, where if it goes up, it can really go up to 200k, 500k, and it could go even beyond, if I'm not kidding. And because the whole entire wave, this is huge. When technically speaking, the volume is declining over time, and this is not just for this one, you can look at other exchanges. So it tells me that next 2 months, now we got, because we are at the monthly, next 2 months we are going to see, because there's almost no volume comparatively, by the way, comparatively. That means it's going to take a major decision whether it's upside or downside. The volume doesn't tell the direction, by the way. Okay, I'll tell you, but you see how it works. So if you look at academia, I have explained this, so you can scroll up and see. I have explained the volume, so if you haven't seen it. Okay, so the point is, uh what we want is a breakout, break about this level, and then goes up, then we are likely to see a huge number. But if it goes down and breaks below 29k and starts coming towards this, then it could come to 1k. I'm saying this on record because I don't talk about 1k. So to me, either we are going for 500,000, 250 to 500,000, or we are talking about significant low. These are only two outcomes, and that's why next 2 months on this scale are so critical for Bitcoin, that I'm very actively watching it closely. I'm talking to some of my friends and discussing, my TA friends and non-TA, but like someone who is long for in industry. One of them is a CEO, and I shared my view, the same chart, and that's what is happening. And anyway, so the point is, I'm personally very curious that what is going to be the course or direction for Bitcoin, and we want to position ourselves before it happens, right? So there is a great opportunity on either side. Of course, much more on the upside, but point is, this is, to me, this is inflection point. This is the inflection point of Bitcoin. So I'm not talking about this phase. People talk about this phase. I'm talking about last 11 years. You have to, so that's why you see a kind of a pipe, kind of a shape that I drew. If you like a channel, this is not a parallel channel, but this is more like a band. I should say a band. This is upper edge, and this is lower edge. This is a band, and and if you consider this whole entire band as single wave, then you can say this is inflection point. Okay, so that's why I'm super curious on its next direction, right? So right now at this scale, the probability of going up is much more than going down. Okay, but if it breaks below 29k, then, so don't mix up the probability of 50-50k, 50-50%. I'm talking about monthly. On a monthly, the probability of upward breakout is 70% to 80% approximately. Okay, so then the probability of 100k to 50k is 70 to 80% at this moment, right? And but if this comes down to this level and breaks below 40k, and if it breaks below 29k for any reason, then I don't care about this phase. I would worry about the whole entire 11 years. So that's my bigger worry, and I don't care. So that's something just for you, just for highlighting. And also I wanted to say this on record. Today we are recording this session, not just offline side talk, but as also for historical record. Right now, the probability of upward breakout is 70% or more on monthly scale. But if it goes below 29k, forget about this phase 4. It could really go down, and at 11 years. So, but at this moment, we are not thinking about it, not at all. But I want to record this one. Okay. So I think if you have any question on this one, let me know. I can explain right after this session is over. And right now, super strong, as I said, that's the summary. Super strong on a monthly. There's a monthly red candle, and how even little bit of downside is not going to affect. Let me hide all the drawing to show you. This is tiny one. This is not going to hurt anyone. Right? You have to be worried only. When I say worried, means concern in a way, as far as if the October low is broken, right? So I'm talking about monthly scale now. You have to think differently, little differently, right? So to me, this monthly October low is very important. This is of course the ultimate one, but this October low must not be broken. Okay, as far as monthly chart is concerned, anything in between is boring, but not a concern. Okay, there's nothing. It's not going to hurt anyone in a long run. Short term, yeah, maybe 1 month, yeah, maybe 2 month, yeah, but as long as it's not going to break, it doesn't break last month's low, it's not going to hurt anyone in a long run. In the short run, maybe, yeah. Okay, so that's my take. So there is absolutely no reason to be concerned, but at the same time, keep your eyes open. That's my message. Okay, don't be too biased about any side. uh, just be, just reflect. Will reflect the change, right? So we are neither bull nor bear. We don't believe in it. With that note, I think I end this Bitcoin analysis. Take your question, and then we'll start with pulse.